Hi there, it's Kute here, sending you much love wherever you are right now. I wanted to make a short video blog about the secret key to speaking in public. Do you know that one of the greatest fears is actually speaking in public? This fear is even more than the fear of death for most people. In fact, for most people, speaking in public is the equivalent of dying. You know, ultimately they're afraid their ego is going to be exposed. And so if you're someone who perhaps has been afraid of speaking or wanting to be a better public speaker, there's many skills and techniques I could teach you. I actually teach some of these in my Coach Apprentice program, which you can find out more about on my website. And I have actually had the opportunity of speaking since I was a child. I've been speaking since I was age 8. From age 8, I started speaking in my father's audiences of 5,000 people. I spoke almost every month in front of thousands of people. When I was 14 years old, I actually would sneak, my father's a minister, and I would sneak into my father's church in the middle of the night where the lights were off. And as a 13, 14-year-old kid for about 4 years actually, I would sneak into my father's church when the lights were off, and I would speak, and I would practice speaking to the empty chairs, the thousands, the hundreds, the thousands of empty chairs, and I would imagine myself giving a talk, and I would speak, and I would imagine people's eyes, you know, expanding and breakthroughs happening, and people just getting so inspired. So for me, speaking is a passion, speaking is an art form, speaking is not just a gift, it's actually something, because Yes, I had a gift, and I believe we all have the ability to communicate. We all have the ability to express ourselves. For some of us, we're more natural at it. For some of us, we've just become conditioned and held in a little bit. So what is the key to public speaking? Because many of us, we're afraid. Oh my God, what we're afraid of is we're going to look terrible, right? What we're afraid of is what will people think? And what we're afraid of is we're going to screw up. What we're afraid of is we're not going to do it perfectly, and we're going to be ridiculed, and we're going to be rejected, and the whole audience is going to laugh at us and, you know, point their finger at you. Well, usually that doesn't happen. And even if you screwed up your speech completely, and you messed it up totally, as worse as it could go, likely, even if someone did laugh at you, probably tomorrow they wouldn't even remember, or a week from now they wouldn't even remember what on earth happened. Certainly a month from now, certainly a year from now. So we put so much importance on ourselves and on our performance, and the truth is, it's important to know as a public speaker, really, you and me, we're not that important. People are showing up in the audience because they have a pain, they have a problem, they have a challenge, or they have something that they're going through that they would like certain ideas, insights, keys, tips, wisdom, tools to be able to solve, resolve, or manage. They're coming because they are in need of some specific information. And if you're giving a speech, I'm going to assume that you have some expertise, gifts, insight, experience that you're able to offer. So here's the secret key beyond stand this way and talk this way and say these words. Number one is the ultimate key, I feel, is stop focusing on yourself. If you want to be an amazing public speaker, if you want to move people's souls and hearts, and not just have them take notes, go, wow, that was great, and leave your speech going, that was lovely, and nothing changes in their lives. But if you want to be the type of public speaker that moves people, you must stop focusing on yourself. One of the reasons we get so nervous before a speech, we have butterflies, we start sweating, I know people have diarrhea all the way up to their speech, is because we are so busy focusing on ourselves, my speech, my talk, my perception, my look, how I'm going to look, what people are going to think, how they're going to think about me, and we're so fixated on our own ego, wrapped in our own ego, that we get freaked out. The key, beyond the technique, beyond the strategy, beyond some mechanical way of standing and moving, is focus on your heart and really get clear that if you're called to speak in some way, if you've been asked to speak in some way, you have some value to add, and start focusing your attention. Take the focus off yourself and start focusing your attention on your audience. Realize that in front of you, you have a privilege. You have a privilege to influence souls. Every time I speak, I realize that I have the privilege, whether it's 20 minutes, whether it's 40 minutes, whether it's an hour, whether it's 10 minutes in this video, whether it's 2 days, whether it's 12 days, when I take people to Bali, I have the privilege to have the opportunity to influence, impact, perhaps for the course of eternity, at least someone's life, someone's evolution, someone's mindset, someone's soul's evolution. And as they change and transform from something that you might say, their kids are going to be impacted, their grandkids are going to be impacted, the entire course and trajectory of their lineage will be impacted as a result of something you might say or some piece of information, knowledge, or expertise that you might have. That is a profound gift, that is a profound responsibility, and that is a profound privilege. So realize the gift and privilege that is to be able to touch someone's life and focus on that. Focus on adding value. You have souls in your audience that are in need of information. There is a conversation that is currently going on in their minds. Maybe the conversation is, how am I going to make it? Will I make it? Am I enough? Am I good enough? Will I be? What will I do? How will I grow my business? How am I going to unleash my potential? How am I going to, so there's certain things that you know that perhaps you can provide the keys to that will accelerate their trajectory, their success, their path, their evolution, the fulfillment of their potential. And I believe that when you know something, you also have a responsibility to share that, right? So focus on adding value. How much value can you add? And if you really take your attention and you focus on giving, you focus on sharing, you focus on gifting, you focus on pouring yourself into your audience, and you forget about yourself, you will dissolve. And as you dissolve, you will be in the zone. And when you're in the zone, you open yourself to a whole channel of information, a channel of knowledge, a channel of inspiration that will flow through you. And that's where the magic happens. That's where you connect with your audience on a whole other level. Stop focusing on yourself. And also realize that as you stop focusing on yourself, the other key is just be yourself. There's lots of techniques that will say, stand this way, move this way, talk this way. And I believe that authenticity is really the key. And when you're speaking in front of an audience, if you just make peace with, you don't have to be anyone other than yourself. You don't have to pretend to be someone else. Just be the natural, innate, authentic expression of yourself and speak to one person. Because each person is one person. Each person in the audience is a mother, maybe your mother, is a brother, maybe your brother, is a sister, maybe your sister, is you, maybe that person in the audience is you. And if you realize, number one, you just get to be yourself. Don't try and be anyone else. So I see many speakers making the mistake of seeing what they consider a professional speaker, and they try and be like that speaker. And you see them, acting. They're basically acting. If you're someone who's passionate, be passionate. If you're someone who just kind of is more chill and more conservative, just be whatever is natural to you. And you might think, but maybe that's not dynamic. What's dynamic? Dynamism, charisma, real charisma is not just how you move on the surface. That's the outside-in approach where you're trying to be something that you think you should be. Real charisma is where you are in tune with your soul. Real charisma is where you are being what you are fully. Real charisma is where you are in alignment with your true nature, and you're allowing your unique nature to express. And here's the deal. When you're being that, there will be people that need to hear the message, that need to hear the specific message in only the way that you can deliver it. They won't hear it in the same way, let's say, Kute will deliver it, or Deepak Chopra will deliver it, or Eckhart Tolle will deliver it, but they'll need to hear it in this exact way, the unique configuration that you, my friend, deliver and speak. So be yourself fully. Be yourself fully, and realize that when you're being yourself, just being yourself is perhaps the greatest gift that you can give an audience, because when you are being yourself, freely expressed as you speak and share your message, non-verbally, you actually give the audience, and every single audience member, psychically, emotionally, unconsciously, the full permission to be themselves. The last thing I'll say about speaking is realize that real communication, is not just what you say. It's said that in communication, 7% of your communication is words. 7% is words. I believe that words are simply the vehicle to carry the vibration of your being. So that if you simply can commit to showing up, doing your best, and being a force of love. Your job when you speak, your job when you are speaking in front of an audience, because they won't know if you said it perfectly, if you executed every story, every sentence, everything you memorized. They won't know if you did it perfectly. And even if you did it perfectly, they won't, most of the time your audience won't remember what you said. If you ask them, no matter how great a speaker you are and how great a speech you did, most of the time your audience won't remember what you said. But they'll remember how you made them feel, and they'll also remember how you made them feel about themselves. Don't get caught up in the words, get caught up in the recognition that when you speak, your role, your job is to spread and transmit love. That is the job. The speech you give is especially if you're in the personal growth field or a coach or a healer or what have you, your job as a speaker is to transmit your love through words, and words are simply an excuse for you to shine. Words are simply an excuse for your love to radiate. Words simply carry the vibration of your heart, of your soul, of your being. Of your being, my friends. So have fun, enjoy the opportunity to connect with another, and recognize that as you speak, your audience is actually not separate from you. They are a part of you. There is no separation. And when you realize that there's no separation from you and the audience out there, there's actually an interconnected oneness that is breathing you, that is breathing all of them. All fear dissolves and only love remains. I hope you enjoyed this video blog, and I hope you enjoyed the written blog below on some specific speaking skills, strategies, and ideas. Please share this with everyone you know. If you enjoyed this, subscribe to my YouTube channel, subscribe to my blog, and you'll receive inspiring weekly updates. Love now.